Imagine a land so vast that the horizon seems to stretch on forever, where the first rays of dawn spill across a sea of golden grass, awakening a world teeming with life. Here the savannah is painted with the warm glow of sunrise, each blade of grass shimmering with dew, and the air alive with the gentle stirrings of creatures great and small. This is Africa's Liwa Plain in Zambia, and the legendary Serengeti in Tanzania, vast open theatres where the drama of life and death plays out beneath endless skies. The air vibrates with the deep rumble of elephants communicating across miles, the chorus of birds greeting the morning, and the constant, tireless buzzing of insects weaving through the grass. The landscape itself is a living, breathing entity, a patchwork of endless grasslands, scattered acacia trees, and winding rivers that pulse with the rhythm of the seasons, offering life-giving water to the thirsty and lurking danger to the unwary. At the waterholes, a breathtaking cast of characters gathers, herds of antelope, zebras and wildebeest, always alert, always wary, while predators, lions, cheetahs and leopards, move like shadows, their eyes fixed on the vulnerable. Every moment is a delicate dance between hunter and hunted, a silent contest of patience, speed, and cunning that has shaped these animals for millions of years. The cheetah explodes into motion, a blur of muscle and grace, while the wildebeest herd surges as one, hooves thundering across the earth. Even the smallest termite, working tirelessly in its mound, and the mighty elephant moving in close-knit family groups, play their part in this intricate web. Every creature, from the tiniest insect to the largest mammal, is woven into the fabric of this ecosystem, each action rippling outward to affect the balance of life. As the sun sets, the savannah glows with a fierce beauty, and the honesty of survival is laid bare. In Liwa Plain, the earth trembles beneath the hooves of thousands of migrating wildebeest, a spectacle of endurance and instinct. In the Serengeti, the sheer abundance of life is overwhelming. Herds stretching to the horizon, each animal driven by ancient rhythms. Within these wild heartlands, families are forged in adversity. Lionesses nurture their cubs in the sheltering grass, teaching them the skills of the hunt, while packs of wild dogs strategize with remarkable cooperation, each member playing a vital role in the chase. Cheetah mothers groom and protect their young, guiding them through a world filled with peril. Leopards, masters of stealth, melt into the tall grass, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When the sun blazes overhead, animals seek refuge in the shade, conserving energy for the challenges ahead. The hyena, ever watchful, listens for opportunity. The lion's roar echoes across the plains, a declaration of power. The cheetah's sprint is a fleeting burst of survival. Wild dogs run in tight formation, their unity a testament to the strength of the pack. The great herds march across the plains, driven by the promise of rain and fresh grass, their journey a test of endurance and memory. Even the largest animals depend on the smallest. Elephants host birds that pick parasites from their skin, buffalo are attended by oxpeckers, and dung beetles recycle nutrients, ensuring the land remains fertile and alive. This is more than a world of predators and prey. It is a living tapestry of survival, where every heartbeat, every decision, and every adaptation tells a story of resilience and wonder. In the wild heart of Africa, the next generation learns from the old, and the cycle of life continues unbroken and untamed, a testament to the enduring spirit of the wild. The spotted hyena is one of the most misunderstood animals in all of Africa, often seen as a lowly scavenger with a sinister laugh. Yet in the wild, communication is never as simple as it seems. The truth is far more fascinating. These are incredibly intelligent and successful predators, with a social structure that is both complex and powerful. Their interactions are a symphony of signals, sounds, and subtle gestures, each with a purpose. Hyena clans are ruled by females, a system called a matriarchy, The alpha female is the queen. She leads the clan, decides who eats first at a kill, and passes her high rank down to her daughters. This hierarchy is reinforced through ritualized greetings, body postures, and vocal cues. The males are at the very bottom of the social ladder, and their lives are a constant effort to stay in the good graces of the dominant females. Submissive gestures, such as lowering the head or offering soft vocalizations, help maintain peace within the group. When it comes to hunting, hyenas are not just waiting for leftovers. Studies have shown that they hunt and kill most of their own food, with a success rate that can be much higher than that of lions. Their coordinated chases are orchestrated through a series of calls and glances, each member reading the intentions of the others. They are built for endurance, with powerful front legs and a heart that can sustain long-distance chases. During a hunt, subtle changes in pace or direction are communicated instantly, allowing the group to adapt and outmaneuver their prey. A clan of hyenas works together as a team, testing herds of wildebeest or zebra to find a weak or young individual. Their teamwork is not just physical, but deeply social. Each member's role is understood through a lifetime of shared experience and constant communication. Once they lock onto a target, they can pursue it for miles, their incredible stamina eventually tiring out even the strongest prey. Throughout the chase, vocalizations and body language keep the group coordinated, ensuring no opportunity is missed. Their teamwork is a marvel to watch, a coordinated effort of strategy and persistence. In the wild, such cooperation is rare, and hyenas are among the few who have mastered it to this degree. The hyena's physical tools are truly remarkable and perfectly suited for its lifestyle. Their senses are finely tuned, allowing them to detect the faintest sounds and scents, vital for both hunting and social interaction. Their most famous feature is their jaw, which has a bite force of over 1,000 pounds per square inch, strong enough to crush the thickest bones. This is often accompanied by a chorus of vocalizations, signaling possession or warning others to keep their distance. This allows them to eat almost every part of a carcass, leaving very little to waste. The sound of crunching bones is a signal to others that a meal is underway, drawing clan members from far and wide. The digestive system is so powerful it can dissolve bone and horn, recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. Even the act of feeding is a social event, with vocalizations and postures determining who gets access and when. This makes them the ultimate cleaners of the savannah. By consuming what other predators leave behind, they help prevent the spread of diseases like anthrax, playing a crucial role in keeping the environment healthy for all other animals. Their presence is announced by a chorus of whoops and cackles, signaling to others that the cleanup crew has arrived. Communication is key in the hyena's world. That famous laugh isn't a sign of amusement. It's a complex vocalization used to show excitement, stress, or submission to a higher-ranking clan member. Each laugh is unique, carrying information about the caller's age, rank, and emotional state. They also use a series of whoops, groans, and growls to communicate over long distances, coordinating their movements and reinforcing their social bonds. In the fading light, a chorus of whoops can travel for miles, gathering the clan or warning rivals to stay away. From the moment they are born with their eyes open and teeth ready, hyenas are built for survival in a tough world. Even as cubs, they use a range of vocalizations and body signals to establish their place in the den's hierarchy. Across the savannah, animal communication is a lifeline. From the low rumbles of elephants to the alarm calls of antelope, every species has its own language. The hyena's laughter is just one note in the wild's intricate chorus, a testament to the power of social bonds, strategy, and survival. They are not villains, but highly successful and essential members of the African ecosystem, far more complex and impressive than their reputation suggests. On the endless golden plains, a thunderous roar shatters the dawn. It is the voice of the king, the lion, echoing across the savannah, a sound that commands respect and instills fear in all who hear it. This mighty roar travels for miles, a bold proclamation of dominance. It marks the lion's territory, warning rivals and would-be challengers that the king reigns here, and trespassers will face his wrath. Unlike any other big cat, the lion's strength lies not only in muscle and fang, but in unity. The pride is his court, a complex society bound by blood, loyalty, and survival. Within this royal family, lionesses form the heart. Sisters, mothers, and daughters, they raise their cubs together, forging unbreakable bonds that are the pride's true foundation. Their cooperation is legendary. Lionesses nurse each other's young, groom one another, and move as a single silent force when the hunt begins. The males, crowned with their magnificent manes, are the pride's guardians. They patrol the borders, ever watchful, ready to defend their realm from intruders and rival coalitions. The mane is more than a symbol of power, it is armor. In brutal battles for supremacy, it shields the king's neck from the slashing teeth of his enemies. When the quarry is immense and dangerous, like the towering African buffalo, the king joins the hunt. His strength tips the balance, bringing down prey that would be impossible for the lionesses alone. At the feast, order is absolute. The dominant male claims the first bite, his authority unchallenged. Only when he is sated do the lionesses and cubs approach, each waiting their turn in the hierarchy of hunger. This strict system ensures the strongest, the protectors, are fueled to defend the pride, while the youngest learn patience and the harsh realities of survival. Night falls, and the savannah transforms. Cloaked in darkness, the lionesses become shadows, gliding through tall grass, eyes fixed on the herds that graze unaware. They are masters of ambush, relying on patience and precision. Every muscle tenses, every breath is measured, as they wait for the perfect moment to strike. The hunt is a symphony of strategy. Lionesses fan out, encircling the herd. Some drive the prey forward, while others lie in wait, ready to explode from the grass in a deadly ambush. Yet even for the king, triumph is rare. Most hunts end in failure, the prey escaping by a whisker. Hunger is a constant companion, and every meal is hard-won. The pride must try again and again, each attempt a test of endurance and will. Even the king faces the relentless struggle for survival. Sometimes the king's reign is threatened not by rivals, but by isolation. In the vast wilderness, a lone lioness may wander, her calls unanswered, a haunting symbol of the fragility of the pride. For years she endures alone, her strength and spirit a testament to the lion's resilience, even in solitude. But the savannah is ever-changing. New lions arrive, bonds are forged, and the pride is reborn. The king's legacy continues, written in the paw prints of a new generation. Once more the roar of the lion rolls across the plains, a triumphant anthem of survival, power, and the unbreakable spirit of the king. As rulers of the savannah, lions shape the world around them. Their presence keeps the balance. Their lives a dramatic saga of strength, strategy, and the eternal struggle to remain king. While lions rule through power and teamwork, the cheetah reigns as the undisputed champion of speed, a marvel of evolutionary engineering. Every aspect of the cheetah's body is designed for acceleration and agility. Its long, flexible spine acts like a spring, stretching and contracting with each stride, while its slender, lightweight frame reduces drag. The cheetah's tail serves as a dynamic counterbalance, allowing razor-sharp turns at breakneck speeds. With semi-retractable claws for extra grip and enlarged nasal passages for rapid oxygen intake, a cheetah can explode from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. At full tilt, it can reach over 65 miles per hour, making it the fastest land animal on Earth. But this explosive speed comes at a steep cost. Cheetahs can only maintain their sprint for 20 to 30 seconds before overheating. Each hunt is a high-stakes gamble, a lightning-fast chase that lasts less than a minute. The cheetah's primary prey, the Thompson's gazelle, is itself a specialist, built for both speed and stamina. Gazelles possess long, slender legs and lightweight bodies, enabling them to reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. Their secret weapon is agility, zigzagging and leaping unpredictably to evade the cheetah's charge. In these electrifying chases, the cheetah's acceleration is matched by the gazelle's rapid reflexes and stamina, creating a breathtaking contest of life and death. If the cheetah fails to catch its quarry in the first burst, exhaustion forces it to abandon the chase and recover. Cheetah cubs, hidden in tall grass, rely on their mother's speed and stealth for survival, but remain vulnerable to larger predators. Lions and hyenas, with their strength and numbers, pose a constant threat to these young specialists. Male cheetahs often form coalitions, increasing their ability to defend territory and hunt larger prey. These coalitions, usually made up of brothers, work together to outmaneuver rivals and secure resources. By patrolling and marking their territory, they increase their chances of reproductive success. During mating season, these alliances can be crucial in gaining access to receptive females. Yet, even after a successful hunt, the cheetah's light build makes it vulnerable to kleptoparasitism. Larger carnivores often steal their hard-won meals, forcing cheetahs to abandon their catch. This constant threat shapes the cheetah's behavior, making speed not just a tool for hunting, but for survival. Where the cheetah is the master of the explosive sprint, other predators, like the African wild dog, excel in endurance. African wild dogs, with their lean bodies and long legs, are built for stamina, capable of running for miles without tiring. Their cooperative hunting strategy allows them to pursue prey over long distances, wearing down even the fleetest antelopes. With a success rate of up to 80%, their endurance and teamwork are unmatched. Packs move as a single, coordinated unit, communicating with high-pitched calls and body language. The dominant pair leads the hunt, while the rest of the pack supports and protects the young and vulnerable. This unity allows them to take down prey much larger than themselves, such as wildebeest calves and impalas. Every member of the pack plays a role, from hunting to caring for pups and injured adults. Food is shared, ensuring the survival of the entire group. Even the old and injured are fed, a testament to the wild dog's social structure. During a hunt, wild dogs fan out, using their keen senses and constant communication to track and exhaust their prey. Once prey is spotted, the chase begins, a relentless pursuit that can last for miles at speeds exceeding 40 miles per hour. Unlike the cheetah's short, explosive sprint, the wild dog's hunt is a test of pure stamina. High-pitched calls keep the pack coordinated as they close in on their quarry. Working together, they encircle and exhaust their prey, ending the chase only when the animal can run no more. These specialists of speed and stamina are shaped by the demands of their environment, each adaptation a response to the eternal contest between predator and prey. Across the plains, the drama of the chase continues, a testament to the power of evolution and the relentless drive for survival. For every predator, there is prey equally adapted. Antelopes with keen senses, explosive speed, and the stamina to outlast their pursuers. Impalas and springboks leap and bound, their powerful legs propelling them out of reach, their agility a match for any hunter. In the wild, every chase is a story of adaptation, a thrilling contest where only the most specialized survive. One of the greatest spectacles on planet Earth is the great migration of the Serengeti and Luo Plain, where rivers become the very arteries of life for countless creatures. This is not just a casual stroll, it is an epic, circular journey of over 1 million wildebeest, hundreds of thousands of zebras, and tens of thousands of topi, all driven by a single, powerful instinct: the search for fresh grass and, above all, water. The migration follows the rains, which replenish the rivers and fill the watering holes, transforming the landscape into a patchwork of life-giving streams and pools. As the dry season takes hold in one part of the ecosystem, the grasses wither, forcing the great herds to move on towards greener pastures and the promise of flowing rivers. This constant movement is the lifeblood of the Savannah, a massive river of animals that shapes the entire landscape, converging at the water's edge in a breathtaking display of survival. The journey is filled with constant danger. Predators like lions and hyenas and cheetahs follow the herds, always watching for an opportunity to strike, especially as the herds gather at the riverbanks, where vigilance is tested and the stakes are highest. The animals have developed clever strategies to survive these perilous moments at the water's edge. Zebras, with their dazzling black and white stripes, create a confusing pattern for predators when they are grouped together, making it difficult to single out an individual, especially in the shimmering light reflected off the river's surface. Wildebeest rely on sheer numbers. During the calving season, over 500,000 calves are born within a few short weeks. This prey swamping overwhelms the predators, who simply cannot eat all the newborns, ensuring that enough young wildebeest survive to continue the next generation. One of the most dramatic moments of the migration is the river crossing, where the river becomes both a barrier and a sanctuary. Rivers like the Grumeti and the Serengeti become major obstacles, their muddy banks crowded with anxious animals, each sensing the tension in the air. Crossing them is a life-or-death gamble, as the herds surge forward in a frenzy of splashing hooves and desperate leaps. Lurking just beneath the surface are giant Nile crocodiles, some of the most patient and powerful predators in Africa, perfectly adapted to the river's murky depths. With a bite force of up to 5,000 psi, a crocodile can easily pull a full-grown wildebeest underwater, the struggle sending ripples across the river's surface. The panic and chaos of the crossing, with thousands of animals trying to scramble up the steep, slippery banks, leads to many casualties, their bodies nourishing the river ecosystem and its scavengers. But the drive to reach the fresh grass on the other side is so strong that they must take the risk, for the river is both a test and a giver of life. The different animals in the migration also help each other out, even if they don't realize it, especially at the water's edge, where their mingling offers safety in numbers and a chance to drink in peace. The zebras are often at the front of the column, and they act as the pioneers, often the first to test the river's depths and currents. They eat the taller, tougher parts of the grasses, which then exposes the shorter, more nutritious shoots underneath. This is perfect for the wildebeest that follow behind them, especially after the herds have quenched their thirst at the river's edge. This relationship, where one species prepares the way for another, shows just how interconnected life is on the plains, and how the river's presence shapes every interaction. The Great Migration is not just a journey, it is a fundamental process that supports the entire ecosystem, from the predators that feed on the herds to the grasses that are fertilized by their passage, and to the rivers that sustain all life, flowing endlessly through the heart of the wild. While predators often steal the spotlight, the large herbivores, elephants, giraffes, and buffalo, are the true architects and engineers of the African landscape. Their survival stories are as dramatic and complex as any hunt. The African elephant, the largest land animal on Earth, is a perfect example of adaptation and social intelligence. An adult elephant needs to eat up to 300 pounds of vegetation and drink about 50 gallons of water every single day. Their massive size demands constant movement and resourcefulness. Elephants live in tight-knit matriarchal herds, led by the oldest female. The matriarch's memory guides the group to hidden waterholes and safe feeding grounds, especially during droughts. Their strength is legendary. Elephants push over trees to access leaves and bark, opening up forests and creating grasslands for other animals. This behavior shapes the entire ecosystem. This act of shaping the land earns them the title of ecosystem engineers. Their trails become highways for other species, and their dung spreads seeds far and wide. During the dry season, when water is scarce, elephants rely on their intelligence and teamwork. The matriarch leads the herd to ancient riverbeds remembered from her youth. With their powerful trunks and feet, they dig deep into the earth, unearthing hidden water. Calves watch and learn, ensuring the survival of future generations. These elephant-dug wells become vital oases for countless other species. Antelope, birds, and even predators gather at these life-saving pools, all benefiting from the elephant's labor. This simple act demonstrates the profound effect one key species can have on the survival of many others. The elephant's story is one of memory, cooperation, and resilience. The elephant is not just living in the environment, it is actively creating and maintaining it for the entire community, its social bonds and wisdom passed down through generations. Looking up, we find another giant, the giraffe. Giraffes live in loose herds, their social structure fluid, with individuals coming and going as they please. Standing nearly 20 feet tall, giraffes can reach a food source that no other herbivore can: the high leaves of acacia trees. Their height gives them a unique advantage. With their long necks and 18-inch tongues, they delicately pluck leaves from thorny branches. Their tongues are tough and prehensile, perfectly adapted for this task. By browsing on treetops, giraffes prevent the savannah from becoming overgrown, maintaining open grasslands that support countless other species. As they move from tree to tree, giraffes disperse seeds in their droppings, helping regenerate the very plants they feed on. Their movements shape the landscape in subtle but vital ways. Then there is the formidable African buffalo. These animals live in large, tightly bonded herds, their social structure built on cooperation and defense. Buffalo herds can number in the hundreds, moving as a single unit across the plains. Within the herd, individuals form close bonds, grooming and protecting one another. They are bulk grazers, mowing down vast quantities of grass. This stimulates new growth and keeps the plains healthy, supporting a web of life. Buffalo are a crucial food source for lions, but they are anything but easy prey. Their survival depends on unity and strength. An adult buffalo can weigh nearly 2,000 pounds and is armed with massive, curved horns, formidable weapons against any attacker. When threatened, the herd forms a defensive circle around their young, presenting a wall of horns to any predator. This strategy has saved countless calves from danger. Their strength, loyalty, and defensive nature make them one of the most respected and dangerous animals on the plains. In the wild, survival is a story of adaptation, cooperation, and the unbreakable bonds of family. In the wild, nothing ever goes to waste. After predators have finished their meal, a crucial group of animals steps in to handle the remains: the scavengers. Vultures are the undisputed masters of scavenging, perfectly adapted for this essential role. Riding thermal currents high above the plains, vultures can spot a carcass from up to 4 miles away, their keen eyesight unmatched. When one vulture descends, others quickly follow, and soon a whole flock assembles to feast. Species like the Ripple's griffon vulture possess razor-sharp beaks, perfectly designed to slice through the toughest hides. Working together, a flock can strip a wildebeest carcass clean in just 30 minutes, leaving behind only the largest bones. This natural cleanup service is vital for the health of the ecosystem, ensuring that nothing is left to rot. By rapidly consuming dead animals, vultures and other scavengers like the marabou stork prevent the spread of dangerous diseases that could otherwise thrive in decaying flesh. The marabou stork, often called the undertaker bird for its somber appearance, uses its massive bill to devour scraps of meat left behind. Beyond scavenging, marabou storks also hunt for small animals like frogs and fish along riverbanks, showcasing their versatility. Together, these birds form a highly efficient sanitation crew, recycling nutrients from the dead back into the earth and closing the circle of life. Wetlands and lakes across the Liuwa Plain and Serengeti are havens for a dazzling array of bird life, each with its own ecological role. The grey-crowned crane, an endangered species, stands as a symbol of healthy wetland environments. These elegant birds are renowned for their elaborate courtship dances, where pairs bow, jump and call in a mesmerizing display of bonding. Feeding on insects, frogs and seeds, Grey-crowned cranes help control pest populations and maintain the delicate balance of their marshy homes. Their graceful presence striding through the shallows is a sure sign of a thriving, healthy ecosystem. In the saline lakes, such as Lake Ndutu, another spectacle unfolds: vast flocks of lesser flamingos. These birds gather in the thousands, transforming the water's edge into a shimmering sea of pink. Their specialized beaks act as natural filters, allowing them to feed on tiny spirulina algae that flourish in the alkaline waters. Their unique ability to thrive in such harsh, saline environments where few others can survive makes them a vital part of this ecosystem. From the soaring vulture to the wading flamingo, every bird species plays a distinct and irreplaceable role in the intricate web of African wildlife, each contributing to the balance and beauty of the natural world. Life on the African plains is governed by the seasons, and no season is more challenging than the dry season. When the rains stop and the sun beats down relentlessly, the lush green landscape transforms into a parched, dusty plain. Rivers shrink to mere trickles, and waterholes disappear, forcing animals to travel vast distances in search of water. This is a time of immense stress for all wildlife. Yet it is also a time when the remarkable resilience and adaptability of animals is revealed. Herbivores like zebra and antelope adapt by changing their diets, eating tougher, less nutritious grasses and even browsing on shrubs and tree bark when food is scarce. Their bodies slow down, conserving energy, and herds move in search of the last remaining patches of green. Predators, too, must adapt. Lions and hyenas become opportunistic, targeting the weakest animals and sometimes scavenging more than hunting. Their survival depends on patience and the ability to endure long periods without food or water. In recent years, these challenges have been intensified by more extreme weather patterns, testing the limits of animal endurance. Some animals, like the wildebeest, have developed the ability to sense distant storms and will migrate hundreds of kilometers to follow the rains, timing their movements with astonishing precision. Others, such as the topi, can survive on minimal water, extracting moisture from the plants they eat and resting during the hottest parts of the day to reduce water loss. Elephants display extraordinary ingenuity, using their tusks and trunks to dig deep into dry riverbeds to reach hidden water, creating wells that benefit many other species. Many animals rely on ancient migration routes passed down through generations to find food and water. These journeys are perilous, but they are essential for survival. Smaller creatures, like birds and insects, adapt in their own ways. Some burrow underground to escape the heat, while others time their breeding to coincide with the brief return of rain. Even as habitats shrink and resources dwindle, the wild inhabitants of the savannah demonstrate a remarkable ability to adjust, innovate, and persist. In these harsh times, unlikely alliances form, different species gather at the same waterholes, and predators and prey share the same shrinking spaces, each driven by the same need to survive. The balance between predator and prey becomes even more delicate as every animal must weigh the risks and rewards of every move. For Africa's iconic predators, survival means adapting hunting strategies, expanding their territories, and sometimes traveling great distances in search of food. The young and the vulnerable rely on the protection and experience of the herd, learning vital lessons in resilience from the adults around them. Family bonds and social structures become even more important as animals depend on each other for guidance, protection, and the sharing of scarce resources. Every adaptation, every strategy is a testament to the resilience of life on the savannah. Through drought and change, the animals of Africa endure, each season shaping them, each challenge forging new ways to survive. The survival of these incredible ecosystems depends on the remarkable ability of their wild inhabitants to adapt, persist, and thrive against the odds. Our journey through the Luwa Plain and the Serengeti has revealed a world where the wild is ever adapting, ever hopeful, and full of promise for the future. We have witnessed the enduring power of the lion, the clever strategies of the hyena, and the relentless speed of the cheetah, while the wild dogs remind us of the strength found in unity and cooperation. The Great Migration thunders on, a testament to the resilience and determination of countless animals working together to survive. Elephants, the gentle giants, continue to shape the land, forging new paths and nurturing the ecosystem for all who share it. From the vulture soaring high above, keeping the plains clean, to the crocodile waiting in the river, every creature plays a vital role in the balance of life. This harmony, refined over millions of years, is a living masterpiece of adaptation and survival. Yet the wild faces challenges, droughts, shifting seasons, and the constant struggle for food and water. The land tests its inhabitants, demanding ingenuity and resilience. Still, the animals adapt, finding new ways to thrive, forging alliances, and shifting their patterns to survive. Each migration, each hunt, each birth is a testament to the wild's determination to endure. The solitary lioness, standing watch at dusk, embodies the spirit of hope and perseverance. The return of the wild dogs to their ancestral lands is a symbol of nature's ability to recover and renew. Elephants lead their young across the plains, teaching them the ancient ways of survival, passing down wisdom from one generation to the next. Cheetah mothers guide their cubs, showing them how to hunt, how to hide, and how to endure. Wildebeest calves take their first steps, surrounded by the protection of the herd, learning the rhythms of migration and the lessons of survival. Across the savannah, animals form unexpected partnerships, zebras and wildebeest traveling together, birds riding on the backs of buffalo, each helping the other in the ongoing struggle for life. In the untouched corners of the wild, life flourishes, a vision of what is possible when nature is allowed to thrive. Lion prides grow strong, new generations playing in the grass, their future bright with possibility. The wild is a living testament to the power of adaptation, cooperation, and hope. As the sun sets over the savannah, the promise of tomorrow glows on the horizon. The ancient trees and fossil-rich earth remind us that life has always found a way. The wild continues to inspire awe, teaching all who witness it about the strength and beauty of survival. Herds move across the land, their journeys a living story of hope, endurance, and the unbreakable will to live. The wild's ancient rhythms continue, echoing through every creature, every blade of grass, every breath of wind. The guardians of the wild are the animals themselves, each species playing its part, each life contributing to the whole. The roar of the lion, the laughter of the hyena, and the thunder of migrating hooves will continue to echo as long as the wild endures. The untold stories of survival are still being written by the animals themselves in every dawn, every migration, every new life. The future of the wild is a story of hope, resilience, and the unending struggle to survive and thrive. As daylight fades and the savannah cools, a new cast of characters emerges from the shadows. The night belongs to the secretive, the silent, and the unseen, creatures whose lives unfold in the darkness, hidden from the day's blazing light. A pair of glowing eyes appear in the tall grass. The African leopard, master of stealth, moves with liquid grace. Its spotted coat melts into the moonlit undergrowth as it stalks its prey, relying on keen night vision and silent footsteps to close in undetected. The hunt is a dance of patience and precision, every muscle attuned to the faintest sound. Nearby, the bush baby leaps between branches, its enormous eyes reflecting the starlight. Adapted for life after dark, bush babies use powerful hind legs and acute hearing to navigate the tangled canopy, feasting on insects and fruit while evading nocturnal predators. On the ground, the aardvark begins its nightly excavation, powerful claws tearing into termite mounds. Its long, sensitive snout seeks out the faintest scent of ants, while its thick skin shields it from bites. As it feeds, the aardvark reshapes the earth, leaving burrows that will shelter countless other species when the sun rises again. The night air is alive with sound, the haunting call of the hyena, the soft flutter of owls on the hunt. The barn owl glides silently across the plains, its heart-shaped face channeling even the faintest rustle of rodents below. With talons outstretched, it snatches its prey, a silent predator in a world governed by sound and shadow. Even the smallest creatures have adapted to the darkness. The African spring hare bounds across the open plain, using powerful legs to escape danger, while the pangolin's armored scales protect it from hungry predators. Each night, these remarkable animals navigate a world transformed, their senses heightened, their survival depending on the secrets of the dark. As dawn approaches, the nocturnal world recedes. Shadows melt away, and the guardians of the night retreat to their hidden dens and burrows, leaving behind only faint tracks and the memory of their silent passage. In the endless cycle of day and night, the wild's greatest mysteries are written in the darkness, testaments to the resilience and ingenuity of life after sunset. In the wild, survival often depends not on strength or speed, but on the art of remaining unseen. Across the African wilderness, countless animals have evolved remarkable strategies to blend into their surroundings, deceive would-be predators, and become near invisible to both hunter and hunted. Look closely at the savannah, and you might just miss the cryptic form of the African leaf-tailed gecko. Its mottled skin mirrors the bark and leaves around it, allowing it to vanish before the eyes of both prey and predator. With each careful movement, it becomes a living shadow, impossible to spot unless it chooses to reveal itself. On the open plains, the impala's russet coat mirrors the golden grasses, breaking up its outline and making it harder for predators to single out an individual. When danger approaches, a herd of impalas freezes, their bodies blending seamlessly into the swaying vegetation, a living illusion that confuses even the keen-eyed lion. Some creatures take disguise to extraordinary levels. The African twig mantis, perched motionless among branches, looks for all the world like a broken stick. Insects and small birds pass by without a second glance, unaware that a patient predator waits in perfect stillness. But camouflage is not the only weapon in the arsenal of survival. In the forests, the African swallowtail butterfly displays bold, eye-like patterns on its wings, mimicking the gaze of a much larger animal. Potential predators, startled by the illusion, think twice before attacking. Elsewhere, the harmless African milk snake imitates the bold colors of the venomous cobra, gaining protection through mimicry alone. Stealth is equally important in the drama of the wild. The serval, a spotted feline, moves through tall reeds with calculated precision, its slender body and dappled fur rendering it almost invisible. It stalks silently, relying on both camouflage and soundless movement to ambush prey. Even the smallest denizens have mastered the art of deception. The flower mantis, with petals for limbs and a body painted in pastel hues, waits among blossoms for unsuspecting insects. For these masters of disguise, survival is a game of patience, adaptation, and artistry. In Africa's untamed heart, the greatest secrets are often hidden in plain sight. Through camouflage, mimicry, and stealth, animals outwit their enemies and shape the ever-evolving tapestry of life, where the unseen can be the most extraordinary of all. In the vast openness of the African wild, not all messages are written in color or shape. Some of the most vital conversations happen in ways we cannot see, through scent and sound. Travel with the wind, and you'll find the hyena's story written on the breeze. With each musky mark left on grass and stone, hyenas declare their presence, boundaries, and even their rank within the clan. For rivals, the message is clear. This territory is claimed. For family, it's a reassuring signature, a reminder they're never truly alone. Beneath the trees, elephants share news with ground-shaking rumbles too deep for human ears. These infrasonic calls travel for miles, carrying warnings, greetings, and directions to hidden waterholes. The soft rumble of a matriarch can unite scattered herds or alert others to distant threats long before danger is visible. Scent is also a silent guardian for many. The African civet, a nocturnal prowler, leaves behind pungent trails to advertise its presence and deter competitors. Even the tiny dik-dik, a shy antelope, marks its home with secretions from glands near its eyes, an invisible fence that keeps strangers at bay. But sometimes silence is survival. The impala, upon sensing a predator, releases a warning scent from glands in its hooves, alerting others without a sound. In the darkness, the nightjar's soft, repetitive calls blend seamlessly into the evening chorus, masking its location as it sits motionless on the ground. For predators, sound can be both lure and weapon. The leopard's rasping cough echoes through the dusk, a challenge to rivals and a signal to mates. Meanwhile, the African wild dog relies on high-pitched twittering calls to coordinate hunts, each note weaving the pack into a single, unstoppable force. In this world, every scent and sound is a thread in the fabric of life, a code written and deciphered by animals alone. Whether it's a lion's roar rolling across the plains or the delicate perfume of a flower visited by a butterfly, Africa's wild is alive with invisible messages. Here, survival depends not just on what is seen, but on what can be smelled, heard, and understood in the silent language of the wild. Across the sweeping savannas and winding river valleys of Africa, one of nature's greatest spectacles unfolds each year, the epic migrations. Millions of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles set out together, driven by an ancient instinct and the promise of rain-soaked grasslands. Their journey is a relentless test of endurance, courage, and unity. The first light of dawn reveals a living river of hooves, stretching from horizon to horizon. For the wildebeest, the path is fraught with peril. Rivers swollen from distant storms become barriers, hiding powerful crocodiles beneath the surface. The crossing is chaos, hooves churning, water splashing, and the desperate cries of those swept away. Yet, driven by hunger and hope, the herd presses on. Zebras, with their sharp eyes and keen memories, often lead the way, remembering safe routes from past journeys. Together with the wildebeest, they form a partnership. Zebras feeding on taller grasses, leaving fresher shoots for their companions. Gazelles, nimble and swift, dart along the edges, alert for lurking predators. But the dangers don't end at the riverbanks. Lions and hyenas shadow the herds, waiting for the weak to falter. The youngest calves and the oldest adults face the harshest trials, but the safety of numbers offers protection. Each herd has its own strategy. The wildebeest's mass confusion, the zebra's vigilance, the gazelle's speed. As the dry season tightens its grip, waterholes shrink and grass becomes scarce. The air fills with dust and determination. Herds must keep moving, guided by distant thunderclouds and the scent of rain on the wind. Some will not survive the journey, but those who do find a land reborn, lush, green, and teeming with life. For these travelers, migration is more than a journey. It is a cycle of renewal, a test of resilience, and a celebration of life's persistence. With each step, they write a new chapter in the timeless story of Africa's wild heart, reminding us that survival often depends not just on strength, but on the courage to keep moving forward, together. Beneath the drama of migration and the pulse of predator and prey, an invisible tapestry binds every creature to the next, a complex web of life that sustains the wild heart of Africa. Here, each animal, from the tiniest insect to the mightiest elephant, plays a role in maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Grass grows with the touch of rain, turning sunlight into nourishment. Grazers, zebras, antelope, wildebeest become gardeners of the plains, trimming the grass, dispersing seeds, and fertilizing the soil with each step. Their droppings feed armies of dung beetles and soil microbes, enriching the earth and sparking new growth. Predators, lions, cheetahs, leopards, shape the herds, weeding out the sick and the weak, keeping populations healthy and strong. Scavengers like hyenas and vultures ensure nothing is wasted, transforming remains into sustenance and returning vital nutrients to the ground. Birds flit through the trees, some feasting on insects that might otherwise swarm unchecked, others spreading seeds far and wide. Frogs and fish keep waterways clean, while crocodiles and hippos maintain the health of rivers and swamps. Even termites, often overlooked, sculpt the earth, building mounds that become homes for countless other species. Each link in this chain is vital. If one thread is pulled, the entire web shivers. When grass thrives, grazers multiply. When predators hunt, herds stay on the move, preventing overgrazing. When scavengers clean, disease is kept at bay. The balance is fragile yet enduring, shaped by the ebb and flow of seasons, by drought and rain, by life and death. In this great web, competition and cooperation walk side by side. The rise of one species may depend on the fall of another, yet all are bound by the same need to survive, to thrive, to play their part in the endless cycle. The wild heart of Africa beats not through the power of any one creature, but through the harmony of all. Here the story of survival is not told by a single voice, but by a chorus, each animal, each plant, each insect, singing its line in the eternal symphony of life.